Hello, everybody. Welcome to What the Flick. Alonso, Duralde, Ben Mankiewicz. A little late this week. Our apologies. It is Girls Season 3, Episode 10, Role Play.
Shoshanna. That's what struck me about this episode. Like maybe the most annoying character in the history of television. Like appealingly annoying.
Right.
Like I mean, I like the show and I like her on it. But
Sure.
But all of a sudden, like with this incredibly sort of thoughtful, human, caring, I'm sure to some extent selfish move.
I was about to say, it's not entirely altruistic. Like, get this guy out of our apartment.
But then she could just throw them out. I mean, or whatever, or insist on that. But I
Sure.
mean, nonetheless, it was this calling in
Felicity Jones.
Right, to what's his name? Who cares?
I never remember.
Right.
He's Richard E. Grant.
He's Richard, exactly. So to see her dad and talk to her, what a great scene. And also just that he didn't instantly, you know, they could have gone a couple of different directions there. And what they went was a really, I thought, well-conceived, really well-written reaction of a cocaine addict and this enormous guilt and pull of seeing his poor daughter.
Right. Well, it's funny because on the one hand, there's that sort of shame and guilt, but on the other hand, you know, there's nothing that, you know, men know that women respond to that. I'm too dangerous, baby. You need to stay away. You know, like that's in a way that's kind of a
better off without me.
Yeah,
Right?
there's a bit of push and pull there. But you know, Jessa has sort of been on the margins this season and doing crazy ass shit. So I'm hoping we're building to another big Jessa moment because
I'm 47 years old.
Show some respect.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you know, Hannah is trying to deal with what's going on with Adam, and she's worried about sort of losing him to, you know, his new exciting show business life, and so she decides to spice things up by like throwing a wig on and meeting him in a bar. And what I'm finding interesting about Girls this season, or certainly in this episode, and also that happened on Looking. People having sex on television, it's generally boiled down to they're having it or they're not having it, and maybe sometimes they're having bad sex. But these shows are really specifically talking about how people have sex, the emotional investment they're making, and what they're looking to say about themselves and what they're looking to get from other people in that transaction, which is not something that we've seen a lot on TV. So that's been really kind of cool.
Has Girls had a good sex scene? I don't mean a good sex scene. I mean a scene of good sex.
So where people enjoyed it?
Yeah.
I think they happen off camera.
Yeah.
They're discussed later, but we only see the awkward ones.
Yeah, I mean, it's been, I mean, I guess maybe Adam and Hannah early on.
Yeah, maybe.
I guess.
And when they got back together.
Yeah, when they got back together or in their stages of sort of exploitation, at least maybe the sex was good. Yeah, it was. There is a lot of. I mean, we've seen this year Adam and Hannah here, which was difficult, and definitely, you know, Marnie and Ray, which was just.
Yeah, that was just a whole lot of awkward.
Atrocious, and we know whatever sex Richard and Jessa are having. Is and
the Shoshanna and her not quite boyfriend. Yeah. That was, you know,
is
bizarre.
This okay? Yeah. Pull harder.
Yeah. I think we should be the kind of couple that
God, you're so stupid. Yeah, right. So I mean, they really have not given us. They're not giving us any quality sex for these characters.
Not a lot of O's on this show. There is no O in Girls.
I thought that I was still sympathetic to Adam, who obviously I think you were supposed to lose sympathy for in this episode, but.
Oh no, I don't think so.
Oh no, really? Because I mean, Hannah, like calm down. Like this is not a crisis. Everything is fine.
Well, I think what's happening is that Hannah is interpreting the sort of relative normalcy of their sex life as, oh God, he's bored. Right. I gotta jazz it up. And he's saying, no, when we were doing the freaky shit before, that's because I was trying not to drink or I was looking for other things, but now I have you and we're in love and things are getting stable, so I just want to have sex with you the regular way, you know? Right. And so, it's kind of, I mean, there's no villain here, you know. You get her point of view and you understand why she feels like she has to make this effort to get things all, you know, swinging from the chandeliers. And he's saying, no, we're good, and I like it this way, and it's only a testament to the stability of our relationship that I don't have to have it be all costumey and whatever. I think
part of the reason that I see him is sort of that we were not supposed to have sympathy for him is because in that moment when Hannah misbehaved and went out and drank and spent the night at a guy's house who
Right.
could be interested in her.
Yeah.
Probably is.
Well, he's the one who they showed early on as like having the crush on the black
That's
woman.
not
right?
going to happen. I mean,
Yeah, well,
they work together.
it's not out of the question.
It's
Yeah,
not
I
out
hear
of
you.
the
They're
question.
drunk.
Right.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't care. Like, he didn't miss her. He wasn't really worried. Like, hey, where the hell were you? Oh, okay, you were there. Should I wear this jacket? Should I put the collar up or not? But like, he's a guy. This sort of magical artistic success has happened to him. It's never happened before. So he's a little wrapped up in it. It's not the
A little bit, yeah, but I don't think he's neglectful. I think in your 20s in New York, at some point, yeah, you go out and you get crazy, and maybe somebody doesn't come home, and he could have maybe made
She overreacted with the role playing, which
Right.
could, of course, been fun.
Sure.
But then he overreacted with, I can't deal with this while rehearsal's going on. I need to stay with Ray.
I guess, although I'm sure there are artists who would sort of defend that point of view, that sometimes you just have to, nobody took it as a bad thing, and say when, the Sex and the City movies where Carrie would go off to her old apartment to write just to be by herself, didn't necessarily mean that her marriage to Big was over, I'm just saying, there's a little of that in this show. But again, these are characters that are interesting, and they're deep, and they're open to interpretation, which makes them, better written than 95% of people on, network television.
Marnie, poor Marnie. I want her to have an honest moment that isn't totally kind of self-important and bitchy, and I would use another word if I felt comfortable. I hope we get to the show, get to the point where I can say it. But because here she is with this guy, and it's fake. She's lying. Everything is a little variation of a lie. Well, surrounding some truth, perhaps.
Yeah, it's you got to feel for it. Like if your embarrassing YouTube video had gone out, I think you would be very mindful of what you were putting out to the world. Like, she probably felt very uninhibited then, and now is, I think, feeling like it's got to be on lockdown. And that's just it's a thing of urban women, I think, where everything's in quotation marks and there's a bit of a distance, so you can't. Now, what I wonder though is, does this guy really think she's a good singer, or does he just want to fuck her?
Right, but then he totally had a moment, but then he apparently doesn't, because he's like, I was thinking about my
girlfriend.
All of a sudden he's thinking about my girlfriend.
But for much of the episode, I'd forgotten about that. But yeah, leading up to that, I was thinking, what's happening here exactly?
She looked so adorable in that hat. Oh God, she just looked great. I
liked that Adam wears the coat while they're having sex.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally.
Breaking it in.
You can't take it off. And then the girl who's running the gallery wants to hire Marnie as her assistant. That girl's great. She's like, be your assistant, Marnie. How old are you? And she goes, 24, or 2 to the 4, whatever dumb fucking thing they say. And then she's like, and then Marnie's report is that she's too young, and she's like, but I'm going to say I'm 22. It's so good. Anyway, really, it's just a strong show, man. It's really provocative.
No,
really.
this season has been really on it, and I think. There's if anything, like I said, I want a little more Jessa, just because I think it's hard to have 4 major characters and give them all the time they're due. But it's because they're all so interesting and they've all got so much stuff going on. I guess that stolen money is gonna come back in Act 3. So
Right, she just haven't figured it out yet. Nobody's looked through that particular that particular box. Yeah, and I'd like more. And I always like more Ray. I'm totally curious.
No, absolutely.
Totally curious about Ray. I mean, usually in shows, you hope for the people to get back together. I mean, please,
God, do not.
Ray, don't get back together. Ray, you get so much going for you all of a sudden. No, you can get back together with Marnie, not Shoshanna.
Oh, well, no, definitely not Shoshanna. I thought that was a given. I don't think you should get together with Marnie either.
Just find some other girl.
Yeah, because there is the bohemian chick with unshaven legs out there that is right up Ray's alley. These girls are trouble. All right, thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week.